After seeing the concentration camps, on that day after lunch, we proceeded towards the salt mines in Krakow. Actually, there are two salt mines in Poland. One is the Wieliczka, other is the Bochnia. What we saw in Krakow was the Wieliczka one, and this has been working continuously from 13th century till the late 20th century, constituting one of the earliest and most important European industrial operations. In the 13th century, that was known as the largest source of salt in Poland, and that was very crucial for the country's economy. So this is an extraordinary place hidden from the world, full of secrets and legends, and it's a must to be seen by everybody in their lifetime once. There is an interesting legend story connected to that. First, let us see the 700 years old salt mine, and also let us hear the guide's beautiful description before I go into the interesting story. She is talking about the shafts and then why it is important to keep one door open when the other door is closed.
All ventilation airlocks, right? So we need to have the whole group between the doors. We need to wait as this door will be closed and we can open this one. So it's also due to regulations and our safety. Any dangers, right? So of course, we also have some records of the accidents. Why do you need so many wooden doors here? So over here we have a timber protective structures known as crypts. They are made of wooden beams which maintain the ceiling of the chambers as they can't react the pressure of the rock mass.
This salt mine in Krakow is 700 years old. The first main shafts were dug in 13th century, it seems, about 8 miles south of Krakow. And the mine is as deep as the Eiffel Tower, it seems. The lowest part of the mine is 1073 feet below the ground. And the total length of the mine tunnel is around 178 miles. We actually had to walk down 380 steps just to reach the first of the 9 levels. So total the tour had over 800 stairs. But luckily while coming back we had the very fast elevator so as to bring us back to the surface, because it was too much for us to again walk up. The tools used by them at that time, it has been preserved even now because of the presence of salt. Some buckets, sculptures and mining tools, winches, everything, they are all in excellent preservative condition because of the salt which was present. When we walked, we saw so many statues, everything was made by the salt by the workers over there, and she was our tour guide who explained us very well. And there were 4 chapels inside, and we saw one of them. And here comes a story about which I was talking to you. There was a king in Poland called Bolesław, and he wanted to marry a princess from Hungary because he wanted to extend his power. So he asked for her hand, and then the king of Hungary also agreed. And this king from Poland, Bolesław, gave her a engagement ring. And then the king of Hungary asked his daughter what does she want for the wedding as a gift. And she did not want any gold or silver or any ornaments. What she wanted was, she wanted something which will make her country, that is where she is going to marry, that Poland, very prosperous. So she asked for a salt mine, and King of Hungary gladly gave her. But how can she carry the salt mine from here to Poland? So what she did was, she went to one of the salt mines in Hungary, and then she threw her engagement ring into the deepest part of the salt mine, and then she went to Poland with her husband. Her name was Kinga and the king's name was Bolesław. There she lived for some time very happily in the Wawel hill castle, and one day she wanted to go to the forest area with her husband and all the servants together, and when she reached one spot, she told them to dig over there. The servants also did because it was the order of the queen. When they started digging, a big lump of salt they got, And inside the salt, when it fell down, was her engagement ring. So that was a sign that God has answered her prayers, and then the salt mine was there in Krakow, and that was a reason for the prosperity of Krakow thereafter. So this was a story, very interesting. So they consider her as a saint, and then there are 4 chapels there, and in one of them we found her statue also. What you see above was a chapel which we visited, and even the chandeliers were all made of the salt. Even the floors were made of salt. And then we just tried to lick the salt which was sticking to the rocks, and then it was so salty. In India we make salt by evaporating the ocean water, and then we get the salt. But here the rock salt is a real rock salt from the rocks they obtain. There were so many shafts, labyrinths, passageways, and displays, historic salt mining technology, machines, and an underground lake was also there. And slowly that lake was evaporating, and then underneath they found salt, it seems. And 4 chapels and numerous salt sculptures, everything was made by the workers over there, and all made up of salt. And this was the salt technology machine what they had over there. And what you see above is a salt what we found on all the rocks which we licked and tried. And all the passages what we went through I have shown, and these are tools used by the workers there. Till now they are in very good condition. It was a bit dark inside, and we had to climb down at least 800 steps on the day, but we enjoyed it because it is a place worth seeing. When we walked on the floor, even that floor, our guide told us it was made up of salt. And you are seeing some of the sculptures over there, beautifully made with the help of the salt. And then there were thick wood scaffoldings to support the rocks. From now it is not functional, the mine is not working. No, it was working till 2007 it seems. After that, now there is no more salt, but still the shaft and everything is maintained. In order to prevent the mine from collapsing, they have built lot of wooden scaffoldings which are in very good place. And inside the chapel we found all these statues and the Jesus Christ, Mary, everything. And Pope John Paul II, who is from Poland, he had also visited the salt mine, and his statue also we could see there in the chapel when we visited. You can see that above the photograph. And the sculpture of Last Supper, everything. And this was the lake about which I was talking to you. The deep inside, it was bluish in color, beautiful. And she said that is also full of salt. It was quite deep. We just saw from above. These are the passageways through which we walked through, and these were the scaffoldings which I was talking about to support the rocks. They are built beautifully, and even the chandeliers, everything is made up of salt. We were wondering how they reached up to that height to put that wooden scaffoldings over there. All the steps were made up of wood. What you are seeing above is a small pond. You can see the reflection of the statue which was kept at the side. We looked at it from a height. It was quite dark inside, and you can see the staircases leading up to the top part of the rock structure. Some places were really quite deep. Walking was a good exercise, but for some of us with knee pain and all, it was really a tough task, but still we really enjoyed looking at the place. Some 1 or 2 fellow passengers, they stayed back in the bus as they were not able to walk down around 800 steps. It was difficult for them. So for them, I actually took all these photographs so that they could enjoy it now by seeing this video, though they missed it out there, because it was not possible for them to walk so many steps there. This salt mine has 300 kilometers of tunnels. Actually, the distance between the Krakow and Warsaw, that much distance it has inside. Around 2,000 chambers, many chapels, many beautiful sculptures, all made of salt. What you are seeing above is the statue of the Pope John Paul II, who was from Poland. Now we have proper staircases, but in those days the workers used to go by shaft and then through steps which are not properly made. It is a World Heritage Site. It is 32 on the UNESCO World Heritage list. This wheel was found outside the mine as and when we enter into the mine, and it is written that UNESCO Heritage Site in the board. So on the whole, it was a very beautiful experience. From the salt mine, we proceeded for dinner to an Indian restaurant, which was of Rajasthani style, the decor inside, and we really enjoyed the dinner there. And after that, we were given some free time to go around the town. Look at the tall buildings in the city with different type of architecture. It was nice to look at. And you can find two towers here, twin towers. There is a story behind it. These two towers were built by two brothers, the tall one by the elder brother and the shorter one by the younger brother. When they were building, the elder brother got jealous of the younger brother and he killed him, it seems. So it is short. But after some time, he was very guilty of his act, and so he killed himself with a knife. And that knife is also found in the center square near the cloth hall. It is hanging, it is kept over there. That is why the heights of those two towers are different. These are some of the legendary stories connected to Krakow. And they have blue trams over there in this place. And then we saw a lot of pipes crisscrossing on the road, that is on above the road. And then the guide explained to us that these pump out the water from the swamps because the whole area is full of water. So they pump out the water from the ground and then they are sent to the other water bodies. In Krakow, even if they dig for a little distance, they get abundant water, it seems. And these are some of the roadside shops which we saw. And there is a lot more to explore in Krakow, which we will do tomorrow. And there is also a story connected to the pigeons which were found in the square, which I will share in my next video. And thanks for watching my videos and supporting me. I hope they are giving you some information for those who couldn't visit Krakow.